Hey guys, welcome to Your Best Interviews. My name is Eric Smith. Thanks so much for spending the time here with me. I know there's so many places that you can go to get advice on interviews and the entire job search process. So I appreciate you spending your time here. Before I go forward into the content of this, check out the bio below. I've got a lot of free resources for you. I've got a ton of videos that can help in almost every aspect of the job search process, prep process, all of that. So check all of that out. All of my focus is to help you get to a better place, get a better footing, and get the job that you really want. So I appreciate you being here. Today, what I want to talk about is how and when to utilize LinkedIn and some of the best strategies I've personally experienced with this. So if you're someone who's been applying to a lot of different jobs, but not hearing back, there's a couple things you need to do. First, you need to identify your resume. Make sure your resume is written well. Make sure that you've done everything you need to keyword your resume to the jobs that you're applying to. I have a lot of videos around this. I actually have a course around this as well. So check all of that out. If your resume is not strong, it will limit your ability to get jobs that you really want. So you have to make sure your resume is up to snuff. But if you feel like you have a good resume, if you've invested the time, you feel like it's keyworded right, it's tailored to the job that you're applying to, but you're still not hearing back because you're applying to maybe bigger companies, there are things that you can do, an extra step. Now, you don't want to do this with every single opportunity because it is time consuming, but there is an extra step that you can take to ensure that you're getting in front of people and allowing them to actually see you and make a decision on your experience as a candidate. So what I've done in the past when I've applied to jobs where I haven't gotten a response back, but I know I'm a good fit for that role, is I'll actually go on LinkedIn and I'll look up the recruiter at that company. And if it's a large company, there's going to be a lot of recruiters, but you can typically find a recruiter that's focused in the industry or segment of the business that you've applied to. And you can connect with them and then send them a very short note. You don't want to write a paragraph. This is not the time to write the novel of why you should be considered for the role. This is not you putting your cover letter in there. What you should do is just drop a simple note to say, I just wanted to introduce myself. I applied to. Make sure you insert the position title and the date and say, I know that you're swamped. I just wanted to put a face to the resume and express my excitement about your company in this opportunity. Something simple like that. All you're trying to do is do a little bit of recall. So it's allowing the recruiter to see that you've applied to the job and maybe they haven't seen your resume, or maybe they saw it, but they just haven't made a decision on it. All you're doing is just allowing them kind of a bump in their inbox, if you will, to consider you as a candidate. And I'll say from my perspective, when I was the director of TA, when I would get a LinkedIn message from a candidate, I always took an extra second on that person's resume. Right or wrong, it's just one of those things. It's a recall thing. When you have multiple touch points on a person's name, you tend to spend a little bit more time there. And so all you're doing is trying to just increase your odds of being recognized and qualified as a candidate so that you can get the interview, because that at the end of the day is the entire goal of the resume, is to get you the interview. So again, don't do this on every single job you apply to, because in how I recommend you be applying to jobs, you should be applying to 100 jobs. You should be applying very, very broadly, cast a very wide net. But you should have a short list of your top companies, your most aspirational companies that you want to work for. And likely these are going to be bigger companies where they're getting flooded with candidates. And if you've applied to one of those and you just haven't heard back, then what I would do is I would spend an hour or a couple hours at night with a very short message, just copy and paste that message over. But you're going to be looking up, actually going on LinkedIn, looking up who those recruiters are at those big companies, and just send a quick connect with a short message or short note saying exactly what I said. Something very short and sweet. Reference the job that you applied to. Acknowledge that you know that they're very, very busy and you just wanted to put a LinkedIn hello with the resume application. Simple as that. But again, it's one of those little things that does increase your odds of being noticed and potentially bumping you forward in the process, which is the entire point of the resume and the entire point of taking the extra step of looking someone up on LinkedIn and sending them a note. So that's something that I've had success with. I know for me personally, when I was the director of TA, when people would do that to me, it actually favored them, right or wrong. That's just how the hiring process is, not always fair. But these are things that you can do to actually increase your odds of moving forward in the process. So guys, hopefully this was helpful. Hit subscribe, comment if there's more that you want or more insight into this strategy. Comment it below. But I appreciate you being here, and check out everything else I have. Check out the links below. I have an entire free interview prep kit that's free to you, as well as a handful of courses that help in all the areas of job search and in the entire interview prep process. So guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.